The tone change of this movie compared to the original is so drastic, but fuck it, let's do it. The Meg 2 The Trench opens up 65 million years ago, and we see these little fuckers eat all these creatures. It's some circle of life type shit, because then we see a T-Rex eat them, and then we see this giant Meg jump out of the ocean and eat the T-Rex. We then cut to 6 years after the events of the first movie, and we see that our main character, Jonas, is still our main character, and his life mission is now fighting these environmental crimes. So we see him on this cargo ship arresting these people who are dumping waste into the ocean. Eventually, we learn that he and Su Yin from the last movie got married, but she died and she left him with her daughter Mei Ying, so he is raising her. But Su Yin's brother and Mei Ying's uncle is now carrying on the family research at the research institute in the middle of the ocean. So they're continuing on the research from the previous movie, and we see that they have financial backing from this woman named Hillary. And we have some returning characters from the last movie, so we have Mac, DJ, and this new woman Jess who works in the station with them. We find that after the last movie, the Meg had a baby, and they now have that baby in captivity, and Ju Ming believes that he has a special bond with her because he's been training her since she was a pup. So the last movie was all about how they found out that the Mariana Trench was deeper than they believed it to be, and now they go into the trench all the time. So Jonas is leading one of his many explorations into the trench when he finds that Mei Ying has snuck aboard because she wants to go with him. Now, before they go down, we see that the Meg that they had in captivity escaped, and she's now pursuing them. So Jonas is on one sub, another sub is going down, and the Meg pursues them through the thermocline where they run into 2 other Megs, so now there's 3 total chasing them. And Ju Ming puts together that his Meg has been acting weird and escaped and came down here because it's mating season. So they get down into the trench, but they discover that this guy Montez is already down there. And it turns out it's because he is with this crew that was secretly hired by Hillary, and they are down there mining this material that is worth billions of dollars. So Montez sees that he's been spotted by Jonas and his crew, so he abandons his crew and lets them die and tries to get out. But when he does that, it causes this rupture in the trench and it strands the rest of them down there. So Jonas, Ju Ming, and the rest of them get out because they decide that they're going to walk to this station that they saw that belonged to Montez and his illegal crew. But back up at the station, Mac, DJ, and Jess are like, we have to send a rescue vehicle down there to go save them. But they see that the one rescue vehicle that they have has been tampered with, so they can't send it down there, so they're trapped. So down in the trench, the crew is walking through. They come upon these creatures. Snappers from earlier are down there. They take a couple of them out. Eventually, they get into the station where they find these rescue pods that they think they can take up to the surface. But at this point, it's revealed that this bitch, Jess, is a double agent, and she's working with Hillary and her team. Hillary reveals herself to be a traitor as well. She tries to kill them in the trench. But ultimately, Jonas comes across Montez and the two of them have a fight. Jonas and his crew are able to get in Montez's submersible and come to the surface, so they're safe. But as they make their way to the surface, they discover that there has been a rupture in the thermocline created by this explosion. And other creatures have been allowed to come through as well, including megalodons, giant squids, and the snappers. So back in the station, we see that Jess has called these mercenaries to come and kill anybody who is not involved in their illegal dealings. But this trifling bitch Jess is killed by a Meg when it straight up just bursts through a tank and eats her. And Jonas and his crew are pursued by the mercenaries, but ultimately are able to escape to this resort island. So Montez and the mercenaries follow them to this island where they think they're going to kill Jonas and them, but instead, they're attacked by the snappers and most of them are taken out. This includes Hillary, who is dragged away by a snapper while she's trying to escape in a helicopter. The rest of the crew tries to escape and save the other people on the beach. Mac and Ju Ming get in this helicopter, but it is brought down by a giant squid. Ju Ming is able to attach this makeshift bomb to the giant squid and make it explode. Before it dies, it gets in this very intense fight with one of the Megs, and the Meg drags it under and kills it. Jonas gets on a jet ski and rides out to sea in hopes that the 3 Megs that followed up from the thermocline are going to follow him, which they do. Jonas is able to kill one of the Megs with a harpoon, and eventually he gets back to the beach where he has this showdown with another Meg on the dock. Jonas is then attacked by Montez, and they have this fight scene, but ultimately he kicks Montez into a Meg's mouth as it is jumping up. Jonas then sees the whole showdown with Ju Ming and the octopus, and the Meg fighting the octopus, and he grabs his helicopter propeller. And as a second Meg jumps up at him, he is able to impale it and kill it with this helicopter propeller. So Jonas, Mac, and Ju Ming are safe, and they're swimming to shore when the third and final Meg starts swimming at them. Ju Ming is like, don't you worry, that's my Meg. That's the one that I raised. We have a special bond. And he goes underwater to confront her, and he has this little clicker that he uses to give her signals, and sure enough, it works, and she swims away from him at the last minute. So she swims off, and Ju Ming is like, see, we have a special bond, I told you, and nobody else believes him. They're like, oh no, she just went because she heard a noise or something. But ultimately, the remaining crew makes it to the shore, and they all have a drink and celebrate the fact that they lived, and the movie ends.